Hello, everybody. I'm Roberto Capopiano. This is one episode of our podcast, The Couchsurfing Experience. Our guest this night is Rocio Khalid. Hola,
Hola,
Rocio.
hello everyone.
How are you?
Very good, very good. Thank you. Thank you
Okay.
for the
Uh,
invitation.
you are one of my guests on Couchsurfing. I want to invite you because you are a really good traveler. What about
No,
you? How many
thank you.
how many
It's a
countries you
pleasure to
have?
hear that.
How many countries you have been? Uh,
Oh, I don't know, to be honest. I have that count on my Couchsurfing profile, but
yeah,
I don't know, to be honest. But
yeah.
fortunately, I could travel a lot. First of all, in Latin America with my family and alone or with friends, and then since I'm studying in Europe, and now I have the chance to be visiting more European countries, and also some of the places nearby, like Turkey and Morocco, which are like fascinating. Yeah.
Okay. So you told me your passion is the photography.
Yes. Yes. You know
Uh,
that. Yes.
yes.
One
You are
traveling and photography are my biggest passions, I think.
okay. I visit your profile on Instagram. You are a little bit famous, I think, that many followers. And so I want to ask you, where is the best photography of your profile? Which country you are impressed of your exploration?
Oh, well, that's also a difficult question. I really like one, maybe, well, I love nature photography, so I try to post more photos about nature, especially wildlife photography is my biggest passion, because when you approach wildlife, you need to be very cautious, very silent. It's like you feel the adrenaline when trying to catch them on a photo, which is amazing. And also it's the way to preserve and increase awareness of the beauty of our world and the natural wonders. um, Also landscape photography is the one I like the most. So maybe there is a tendency in my Instagram profile to post more of those photos, and one of the ones I like the most is the maybe you saw the kingfisher.
Mhm.
I love the colors of the bird, and it was in Argentina, in the north. It's one of the best places for for bird watching and also like wildlife watching. It's near the Iguazu Falls, but it's less famous. It's a national park, Ibera Wetlands. It's called, and I really like that one. And also in the south, in the Patagonia, one of the where you can see the mountains,
Mhm.
and it was on the sunset, and you can see the peak of the mountains with the red and yellow lights of the sunset. And I think that's one of the ones I like the most. But you should tell me which is, which is the one you like the most.
Yes, but the fact that you have many photos in Turkey, I like many the photo that you sent me on Turkey. I like it very
Oh,
much
yes.
because it's a country that I have not explored. So for me, it's a little bit exotic because from Europe, I imagine what is the castle, and so for me, the Asia is explored for me, and so I'm really impressed. And usually, I'm really impressed about the photo from the landscape of the United States and the South America, because in Italy you found natural beauty, but not like this. It's huge. And so I want to ask you also one question. Where you was to when the Argentina wins the championship? Did you watch the final?
Yes, 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 of course. But I was in Lisbon, finishing my third semester for university there.
Okay.
So I met a lot of Argentinians. We made like a WhatsApp group, and we were gathering
Ah,
for the match, and yeah, we made a really nice group. But what was the most nice thing was that for the last match, there were many people which were not Argentinians also celebrating, and they were like before that, they were also suffering with us, even many Portuguese and also Brazilians, you know, that historically Brazilians are our footballistic rivals. So I was very happy to see them on our side, you know, was really, really happy. And then even they came with us to celebrate. We met in the Plaza do Comércio, in one of the central areas of Lisbon, and we were all together celebrating. That was really nice, you know. And also I received the support from many people, many of them from Couchsurfing, people I met around in different countries from Couchsurfing. And also I was really happy to see the support we had like on the internet. We received support from people from all over the world, in even you know, even Southeast Asia, Bangladesh, India. Well, that was amazing, you know. And even I also received a lot of support from Turkey. So I think that that's one of the nice things of football. Sometimes it can separate people, but most of the time it can bring people together. So it was really nice to see how people from very different cultures that, you know, Argentina doesn't have like strong connections with Asia, for example. We don't have like flights or cultural connections. That's very limited. So I was very happy to see that how can football become a tool for getting our countries closer.
Yeah, unite people. They say the united people. We have something in
Yes.
common. Yeah, especially in Argentina, maybe in Italia. The football is like a religion, no?
Yes, of course. Yeah. Here, I wasn't here in Argentina, but like the celebrations were really, really. Maybe you saw the images on the TV.
Yeah, the imagine.
It was really, really amazing. So many
Crazy,
people.
so
I
crazy. So
like 5 million people were on the streets celebrating. I think that's one of the highest numbers
in
on
Buenos
of people
Aires,
on.
in Buenos Aires.
No, 5 million in the whole country. I think was like the
All the
people on the
country.
street.
Okay.
Well, but I
So
now you're
let's
making me.
talk
I'm not sure.
about the couchsurfing experience. I have a question. I had many people in my house, but I'm not sure. I think that there is like two kind of people. One people that organize everything in the travel, that have like a roadmap. They know where to go. And there are some people that organize nothing. I want to ask you, what do you suggest? What is your experience? Is it better to make plans or with Couchsurfing to feel the whole experience? Is it better not to make all the schedule of the plans? What is the best for you?
Well, I will say the smartest answer I think is like it depends. So it depends on the on your trip, because sometimes you travel with a very short itinerary. You don't have time. You have like a very tight itinerary. Like for example, one of the things that comes to my mind when people travel from Argentina or maybe other Latin American country, they travel to Europe. They want to make the most of the trip. Maybe they just have 2 weeks or 3 weeks and they want to see everything. Of course you cannot, but in that way, if you travel in that way, I could suggest to have like a list of the places that you really want to see and you don't want to miss. And I would recommend to have a plan, an itinerary, because having an itinerary saves you time. And of course, you always need to leave some space for spontaneous activities and spontaneous things. But for some trips, you need a very good planning. On the other hand, if you have a lot of time, or if you are, for example, working remotely and traveling, then you can stay like for longer and get into the vibes of the place with more time and more relaxation. So if I have the time, I would totally recommend, and I would prefer having less plans. But when you don't have enough time and you are like on a very tight schedule, then yes, you need a good plan. Like to, for example, to have like good transport connections, but also sometimes, for example, I had like this when once I was in the north of Brazil, in Porto de Galinhas, and there you have natural pools that only are formed during the low tide. So during the high tide, the water enters to the beach, and then when it's low tide, the water retires from the beach. So if you really want to enjoy the natural pools there, which is the main attraction, you need to really go when it's the low tide, you know.
Yes.
And for that, you need to check on advance. So that's like also some natural things, natural activities that are very dependent on specific conditions like the tide. Then yeah, you need to check that on advance.
Because one of the most curious thing that when people organize everything, lose the surprise effect because they
Yes.
watch the images, so they are not traveling for the first time because they look everything on especially the pictures. So for me, I think that you have to plan everything like the tickets of the plane and everything, but not everything. Something you have to organize with the locals if you
Yes,
couchsurfing.
I agree with that. Once I was traveling with my family and I was explaining them, okay, here you have this. And I was explaining all the facilities and the characteristics of the place and the location. And they told me, but have you been here before? How do you know all that? And that was because I was doing like a very good research before getting there. But also since I was the planner of the trip, I felt the responsibility, you know, you want to make everything perfect for them. So also depends in which is your role if you travel in a group, which is your role in the group. Some people, they just relax and there is other person organizing everything for them. But of course, the surprise factor, I realized this 2 years traveling in Europe, when I had like, I'm studying in Europe, but when I don't have classes or when I have online lessons, like when I had online lessons, I was staying at your house. So I really needed to learn how to split my time between studying and traveling, and also keep a place for the surprise factor. Like I think I didn't plan to go to Pestum, but it was your recommendation. So some things for that. You need of course the place for that, and for making pizzas, of course.
Yes, but I like the fact that you are like a worker traveler, like a student traveler, because you can travel with an internet connection. You can travel, and in the same time you can study and also take some lesson. Now with the internet is very different because you are a solo traveler, but you cannot only in vacation, but living like a normal life with traveling. Because if you stay with couchsurfing in a house that has internet, it's a little bit complicated, but it's more simple to have like a normal life, doing something and traveling. That is so strange, but it's good because you like in the morning you work and the afternoon you go to visit places similar.
Yes, and I met a lot of people, especially through Couchsurfing, that they were doing that, or they were like maybe doing that like a couple of months during the year. So I also, after graduation or maybe some months before graduation, I'm already looking for some online jobs. So but if not now, like before, after graduation, I really like to get a remote job, and that would give me the opportunity to be visiting places and also go to Argentina to visit my family and have the flexibility to move around. It's really nice, especially when you find out that there is so many nice people to meet, and it's really nice to go on adventures all over the world. And then every place is unique and all the people is unique, so it's really nice to
Yeah,
keep.
but now your focus is on the tourism in Italy with Argentina peoples. You tell me about this. You are doing a thesis, a project of thesis about this.
Yes, this is correct. I started writing like my research project, so I still have 1 semester to finish it. But my idea is to research on the potentials and the motivations of what I call reverse routes tourism between Italy and Argentina. I will briefly explain you what is this, because maybe it's the first time you hear about that, because
Yeah.
it's a very new concept, you know, which is very well known is routes tourism, or sometimes called diaspora tourism. It's the tourism that, for example, descendants of immigrants do to the homeland of their ancestors. In my case, for example, when I was in Italy, I was visiting
In Lazio.
my grandfather's village, Pastena, in Frosinone. And I was there, I was meeting family, which I never seen them before, but I had to do the research to find the house, and it was really adventurous and very emotional. And I also did this in Spain, in Asturias, where my grandmother was from. And it's such an emotional journey, to meet the family there and the house where they were living. I even was visiting the school, the rural school where my grandmother was attending. But for my thesis, I took that like the opposite direction. So it would be like, for the case of Italy, like the motivations for Italians to visit Argentina, considering that Argentina is the third country with more immigrants from Italy received, especially during the 19th century and very early 20th century. So there is a huge presence of Italian descendants here and Italian culture. When I was in Italy, I felt that everyone was telling me that they had a family here in Argentina, or they had a friend living here, but maybe they don't know much about them. Like some of the traces were lost, but they still have like a lot of interest and curiosity. So I think that could be a good niche for Argentina tourism industry to explore. And it's not well researched on one hand, but it's also not well marketed. And even I know that Italy has been doing a huge research on roots tourism in the University of Calabria. They have a research school about roots tourism, but not reverse roots tourism,
They
so
don't go
because
in
of course they
Argentina.
want to, yeah, they want to attract like all the descendants of Italians abroad to visit Italy, so they are investing a lot of money, such as for example Scotland. They have been doing that for many decades, and also Israel, and also which also country, I don't know, I think Scotland is one of the main models for roots tourism, and Italy is now paying more attention to that because they also have a lot of potential.
Yeah, and they also make the citizenship many times in Italy. They want to, because there are some convention to be faster to recognize the fact that they have roots in Italy, so they can, if they can became Italian or European citizenship.
Yes, correct. I have some friends that travel to Italy to do the citizenship, because here the consulates is really busy. You cannot get the appointment. I have the Spanish citizenship, but I was also trying to get the Spanish one, and really getting appointments in the Buenos Aires consulate is really, really difficult. Some people is struggling like years and years trying to get one. So many people, if they have the opportunity and especially the money, because you need to stay there for at least 4 months. So they make this investment and they travel there to get the citizenship and then do the passport, and then they can stay legally and work in Europe.
Yeah, you have to translate the papers, a long process, needs some money.
Yes,
And
I will mention something like I requested my grand well, one of the things that was my grandfather, he gave up the citizenship when he migrated to Argentina, because that was the only way in which he could work legally. By then in Argentina, there was a law that all the immigrants had to give up, renounce to the citizenship. So he had to do that. So my only option was to do my citizenship through my grandfather. But I requested the citizenship act, like the Acta de Nascita. Okay, I
atto di
requested that to
nascita, atto di nascita,
yeah,
yes.
Acta de Nascita. I request that to the municipality in near
You think,
Cosenza,
you think that
and
is more,
it took 1 year and a half to reach my home by post, because you need the paper, so it had to travel from Italy to here, and it took 1 year and a half.
yeah, it's more hard in Italy maybe than in Spain. Maybe Spain is a little bit fast, who knows? Maybe
I don't know, because I had, on the other hand, I also have to say that when I requested the citizenship, the acta de nascita, my grandfather, the birth certificate, let's say, in Pastena, it took in 1 month, it came home, it arrived home in 1 month. So it really depends on the community, on the municipality.
The employer of the community is random, maybe. Depends.
It's really frustrating for some people that they are like they cannot advance in the process because they have like so many obstacles.
Yeah. Okay, thanks you also for this episode. I want to ask you, can you make I know that you speak Italiano. Can you make a saluto in Italiano for our friends?
Sorry?
Can you make a saluto in Italiano? Like ciao, like similar to some words in Italiano to finish.
Sì. Ciao, grazie a tutti. Y voglio che tutti gli italiani vengano para l'Argentina per fare mi investigazione della mia tesi e per conoscere questo bel paese e anche non solamente italiani, tutto il mondo. Everyone, welcome to Argentina.
Thank you, Rocio, so much. And so good luck for your project. And see everybody to the next episode. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Grazie. Ciao.